G'day guys. Step 2, hormones and their role in fat loss or fat gain. So if you turn to page 8, you'll be able to find exactly where we are. Okay, so the predominant female hormones are estrogen and progesterone. Okay, the male hormones are testosterone and pregnenolone. Okay, so why does this matter in terms of fat loss? Now I want you to picture your 20 kilo overweight female client. She is right now very estrogen dominant. Now what does this mean? It means that her cells are producing a lot of estrogen. They've got a lot of issues with insulin sensitivity. Now basically this means that they're going to have a slow or lowered output of your thyroid hormones. Essentially what does that mean? It means that their metabolism is going to be slowing right down. Okay, so this is where estrogen, the female hormone, plays a vital role. But if we get it right, it can also aid in that sensitivity of the cell. So let's put it in real life example. In the 2 phases of your menstrual cycle for females, you've got your follicular and luteal phase. Now the follicular phase will have a higher ratio of estrogen to progesterone. And remember, all this will be in your notes as well. Estrogen in this sense would mean that with it being higher, we want to further weights training in this period. We want to make sure that we're doing a lot more weights training during this time to enhance the sensitivity of the cell and break down some of those stored fats to be used as energy. The other phase, in progesterone, which is the other hormone, is going to be rising in the other phase, which is called our luteal phase. Now this means that at this time, your clients might get those real hunger pains, they might get a little snappy, they might go for the poor food choices, and this is all because their estrogen and progesterone levels are changing around this menstrual cycle phase. What this means is that they're less likely during an increase of progesterone to actually metabolize and break down more fat. So you'll actually find that if we can figure out with our estrogen and progesterone where they are in their menstrual cycle, we're going to be able to influence their fat loss during these times. Okay? If we want to make note of one point, the heavier your client is, the more weight they have to lose, the more estrogen dominant they are, the slower their metabolism and the less likely they are to use insulin or break down the cells to use fat. Okay? We've got a few hormones here that I really want to cover. Insulin is anabolic. It promotes growth. So from a young age when you were born, you had your mother's milk. There was a lot of carbohydrates in there to actually influence you to grow. Without that, we'd be in a lot of trouble. Leptin. Leptin is the hormone which tells us we are full. Okay? This is a really important hormone to recognize, because if we eat slower with better food choices, our hormones will tell us to stop eating. They'll send a signal from the hypothalamus, which is basically our calorie counter, and go straight through our cells to say, you know what, you've had enough. Glucagon. Glucagon is catabolic and initiates the breakdown of fat to be used as energy. This is really important to understand, because with an increase in glucagon, we will have the best chance of breaking down fat and using it as an energy source in preference of glucose, which is primarily what a lot of clients will be doing right now. The other major hormone is ghrelin. If you've ever felt hungry, if you've ever got those real stomach pains, that's ghrelin, and it's an important hormone to understand its role. If you're ever hungry, if you're ever needing food, this hormone communicates and tells you it's time to eat. Now essentially this should be relatively present after maybe 3 to 4, maybe even 5 hours after eating a substantial meal. What we don't want is this to be produced 1 to 2 hours later. How is this being produced? 1 to 2 hours later? As if we have a high concentrated carbohydrate meal with an overweight client. They'll tell us that we need to eat 5 to 6 small meals a day. No, I disagree. I think maybe 3 meals a day of good quality protein, fats and carbs will mitigate this ghrelin response and obviously keep our blood sugar management levels better for longer. I hope that makes sense.